I got an idea for a new show. It's in the line of kind of like HGTV or like Bar Rescue or, some of those restaurant shows where they fix things up. For me, I can do it around. I'm just going to be Central Bank Makeover. Central Bank Extreme. I got to come up with a name for it, quite frankly. But, I can go from central bank to central bank around the world and fix them. I, I'm laughing. I have to talk about Powell and the Fed and everything that you thought you knew about central banking. Some of the statements made by Powell, didn't jive with. And it's almost as if, seriously, they have some sort of like wheel that they spin, and wherever it lands on, they're going to head in that direction. I've been going after our central bank in particular for a very, very long time, going back to Alan Greenspan in 1996, talking about irrational exuberance. And yeah, things started to get out of control. Then they went parabolic. He gave lip service to raising margin requirements at that point in time. I can go through one folly after another. Most recently, with the Federal Reserve, with it's not really inflation. It's going to go away. I guess it's under Biden. It made no sense whatsoever. And not to mention the fact this nonsensical idea, and it's conventional wisdom. The lie has become the truth, where we've been told that there's been little to no inflation for a very long period of time. We've lost in 30 years, we've lost 55% of your buying power with the dollar. 55%. Yet you throw on a television, you listen to these economists that work at the Fed, they parade them on, they talk about their numbers and 2% targets and all this stuff. At some point in time, you've got to understand that they're just gaslighting you. They're lying to you. How are we able to understand and get our arms around the what's happening in the economy? Again, this is how I would explain this. This is how I would do my central bank makeover. We'll start with our central bank. Okay, that's what everybody's familiar with. I would take those 400 plus economists that work at the Fed with their fancy pants degrees from the fancy pants institutions, are supposedly the smartest people in the room. I'd go in there. Like I said, you think about it, when you watch Bar Rescue, when the guy goes in there and he just starts tearing things out and change. That's what I do. Okay. I would basically go in. Okay. I would take away all of their algorithms, all of the nonsense that they use, all of their stupid surveys. And I'd give them backpacks. I tell them to go home. Pack your backpack. I'm talking about like those hiking backpacks. People walking the Appalachian Trail, and I'd send them out. On the show, it'd be great. We could play that song from Simon and Garfunkel, America. You know what I'm talking about? It's a great tune. Send them out to every corner of the country and actually have them speak to people, talk to small business owners, talk to people from various different economic strata, walks of life, rich people, poor people, middle class, and ask them, talk to them. They'll tell you what they're thinking, what's happening on the ground. You economists, you wall yourself in these real, again, well, you got a $2 billion renovation there in the Fed building. You wall yourself in and you don't have a clue. Oh, we're relying upon the data, and the data is bad that we're getting from the government. Why wouldn't the data be bad? It's always been bad. Do you think business owners have time to answer stupid surveys? They're not forced to do so. They have so many of them. Labor Department, all that, the data that they collect. I remember one time I got a phone call, and they were asking me, I remember at the time it was under Obama, I was asked how many minorities I had working at Markowski Investments, and I got kind of ticked off, kind of made a fancy, I'll tell you, I told the person that I was blacker than Obama in the summertime. They said, do I count too? Anyway, Neither here nor there. It doesn't make any sense how you go about gathering this data, and you don't need to. You got this 400 of you there. Okay, get out. See the world, see the country. Go visit people. Go to Alaska. Go to Hawaii. Go to Albuquerque. Go to Boise. Go to Albany. Go to all these corners of the country and talk to people. Want to know why our data is better? That's why. That's why. That's why we're able to tell you exactly what's going on. But what has been our position going back to 2000, 25 years? Stagflation. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Oh, yeah, we've had points in time of growth, but growth has been muted. And yeah, we've had a ton of inflation. We're all, you're told that there's no inflation. Look, the government statistics tell you that there's no inflation. It's like going outside and the rain is pouring on your head and the weatherman is saying it's sunny and beautiful outside. And people go along with it because some expert, so-called expert, told you on TV, you know better. We've been talking about this do-it-yourself economy. You do a lot of these things on your own. You have a better gist of what's going on than they do, quite frankly. But yeah, I think it would make for an interesting show. Chris Markowski is the host of Extreme Central Bank Makeover. WatchDog on wallstreet.com.